Welcome to Buck This, where we fuel the stoke, catch some airtime, and unpack what it takes to live loud, laugh hard, and stay bucked. Let's drop in, baby. Welcome to Throttle Thoughts. This is the part where you sit shotgun with me in my brain and I spiral for a couple minutes, so buckle up. You ever see the movie Sandlot? If you just said no, you're absolutely an L7 weenie and you need to pause this immediately and go educate yourself and watch that shit. For the rest of you, whatever happened to leaders Benny the Jet Rodriguez? Kids out here coming up with all this weird ass 6'7" shit and playing on their iPads. Go steal one of your dad's balls and throw me something to hit. All right, you got Squints over here risking his life drowning for love, and Rodriguez jumping a freaking fence to face a literal gorilla dog. All right, he said, "Buck this. My boy needs his ball back." All right. Meanwhile, the Chazzes of the world won't even swing a bat because they're scared to miss. Ugh, raise the bar. If my friends aren't willing to jump the fence with me and face a little adversity, I don't want it. All right? Get cinematic with your life. And I don't mean influencer cinematic, okay? Buck this isn't look at me. It's grab a bat and get dirty. I don't want you watching from the bleachers, bros, okay? I want you riding shotgun. This is culture, not content. All right, I'm not trying to be above anyone. I'm trying to ride with everyone. Okay, unless you're an L7 weenie, then yeah, you can sit in the dugout. Now listen, stop giving your energy to people who won't jump the fence for you. Size up your circle. Let me give you the shoe analogy, okay? Too big, you're tripping. Too tight, you're blistered. So choose your shoe wisely. It's all about who you walk with in this life. And do you want Jenny try hard look at me energy or Benny Rodriguez the gorilla dog slayer energy? All right, we're all just out here trying to find the shoe that goes the distance. You feel me, bros? The shoe cannot find you if you don't step outside either. So buck around. Take the swing. Stand tall on that play. Know who you are and where you came from. I know who I am because I grew up rolling up to the ski resort with my 25-year-old dad at age 7 in a red Honda Civic with a bunch of 25-year-old dudes, okay? That's why I am the way I am. Now ask yourself, why are you the way you are? Are you proud of it? Because I sure as hell am. So take up space, be Benny, jump the freaking fence, face the gorilla dog in life, say the thing, find the right shoe. And if life looks at you and says, "You're killing me, Smalls," you smile right back and say, "Good, because I'm trying to buck around and find out." This is Throttle Thoughts, the part where you sit shotgun with me in my brain, and Lord knows I spiral for a couple minutes. Catch you next spiral, folks. You know that moment when someone says, "Hey, hold my beer. You know it's about to go down." Yeah, this is that moment. Me and my good homie Matt and I are about to drop into some stories that probably should have come with a waiver.
Welcome, Matt. And your last name is, I might botch it, Seidel?
Close enough. Seidel.
Seidel. Oh,
Yep.
Matt Seidel. Welcome, brother. Welcome to Buck This.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on here with me. It's so fun because today we are actually out in the backcountry.
We are.
Currently, right now, with the brother Matt, we are in the high country out in Bend, Oregon. We are... we just took a little rip today, and it's been sick, yeah?
It's been amazing.
Dude, no, it's been a sleeper sick day today.
It has.
I'm talking like just open field. Nobody's been here. We're like, what's wrong? Why can't we ride this? Why is it so good? This day's been pretty epic.
It's been awesome.
You live here in Bend, yes.
I do.
And it's been a crappy season, yeah.
Yeah, to say the least.
So is this the best day of the season for you?
This is the best day of the season.
Best day of the season. Let's go.
Well, it's only the second day, but still.
Yeah, well, you went out to Yellowstone.
I did.
In Montana, and you rode.
I did.
And it wasn't that great, I heard.
It was not.
Dang it. I hate it when you drive that far and then it's just not good.
Yeah, it was still fun. It's fun to go to new places. Mm-hmm. So that part was great.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, new places, new faces. Well, you were actually with a group of people.
I was.
There were some people that you met that were new, right?
Well, yeah, I knew maybe 3 people.
And there was a large group.
And it was 20 people.
Yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to go on that trip,
You
and
were.
then I didn't because I went and got my my avalanche course level 1, and that was really fun. And speaking of avalanches, I wanted to ask you to come on this podcast because, one, you're a guy that likes to get after it. I like watching you ride because it's fun. You're definitely risky. You get into some risky business. I've heard some crazy stories that you've told me where I'm like, what? Why did you do that? And you're like, well, it just looked fun. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
So and you've told me a lot of really fascinating stories with writing, and actually one in particular story that kind of scared the crap out of me last year, because last year was my first season. And you told me that you were out riding with a buddy, and your buddy was climbing a hill, pretty steep hill, and an avalanche broke, and you watched him get buried. I'm going to give the floor now to you, because
Okay.
this story is kind of why I wanted you to come here, because I want to kind of highlight some of the things that you did, some of the things, some of the tough choices that you had to make to come out with a victory for that day.
Well, I'm going to start from the beginning.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
embarrass myself a little bit.
All right.
Because my buddy and I came. It was the first day of the year.
Yeah.
There was, we heard it got a little snow. We pulled into the parking lot, and there was like a half an inch in the parking lot.
Okay.
And we both were like, I'm not going to bring all my gear. Bad mistake. So none of us had our beacons. We had radios, but we didn't have any beacons. I had a pole and a shovel.
Some real cowboy shit right there.
No, and I didn't have my Avi bag.
Wow.
Yeah, it was dumb. Totally dumb. But when we rode out here, by the time we got out here, it was waist deep, and it was awesome. And you just you get wrapped up into it, and you forget that you forgot all that stuff and didn't bring it.
Yeah.
Didn't forget. Purposely left it in the car. Dumb. So we were coming up here, and we were actually coming from that direction. And
So you're coming from the west
we were coming from the west,
Okay.
and we were heading this direction
to the east.
and he saw this little hill, a hill that we've ridden 50 times in the last 20 years, and he started to go up it.
Are you?
That hill right
Are we
there.
talking? Okay, because we're talking about this hill right
hill
here.
right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just so people listening right now, we are actually at the spot that this happened.
We
are
are.
sitting and looking currently at the face of not the biggest mountain in the world, just this
no.
tiny little, not even tiny, but definitely a steep angle, but just what you would call a hill.
Yeah, just a little hill.
Yeah.
So we would like jump off of it, like climb up this and jump. There's like a little plateau, and then you can climb up again.
Wow.
We've been riding this little
Right.
knoll, or whatever you want to call it,
For years.
For years.
Yeah.
And never had a problem.
This is like riding a bicycle.
And it actually looks more dangerous now for slide than it did when we were here.
Okay.
It was not. So he started to go up the hill. And when he did that, I glanced to the other direction and saw an open powder area and was like, maybe I'll go over there.
Okay.
And then by the time I looked back, he was climbing up the hill, and I was watching him do it. And then he got bucked off. He hit a rock under the snow.
He got bucked
And
off.
He got bucked off. And he was sitting below his sled, collecting his thoughts, rethinking his life choices, things like that. And I looked off to the right, and I decided, I was like, well, I think I'm going to go ride in that powder over there. And by the time I finished that thought and looked back to where he was gone.
Wow.
So the cornice had broken off behind him, and he
From on top of him.
from above him. So it took his sled and then took him.
Wow.
And pushed him probably, what is it, from there to where we're sitting right here.
I
This
would
is
say
literally where I dug. This is where he was.
like barely 30 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 feet.
100, yeah. Let's call it
Okay.
that.
So-
Wow.
It
And-
pushed him.
Okay. Down the
pushed
hill.
Down the hill, under the snow.
Wow.
It pushed the sled over top of him,
Wow.
and he ended up right where we're sitting.
Right here where
right
we
here.
are.
This is where he was.
And this is where you dug it. And you
This is where
didn't
he dug it.
know.
I didn't know where he went because I didn't see it.
So you guessed. You
completely
guesstimated.
guessed.
You with your best judgment,
What-
you guesstimated and just picked a spot and started digging.
I want to say yes, but in the moment, I didn't even grab my shovel off the sled. Like I ran to this area as fast as I could, and I started digging with my hands.
And how did you know?
I didn't know.
You didn't. So so your guardian angel guided you. Your guardian angel was going, "You idiot! I'm gonna give you a pass."
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm gonna push you to this spot and tell you to start digging.
Yeah.
And you found your friend.
The sled wasn't that far away because I was down here.
Okay.
So I was maybe 20 feet from where he was
Mm-hmm.
on the sled, and I ran to him. And then I just started digging. And
How long did it take you until you found him?
I'm gonna guess 5 minutes of digging.
Oh my God! Of frantically in
digging,
panic
and
mode.
not even like I don't know why I dug there.
Yeah.
It actually had nightmares
You were being
about
guided,
it.
my friend. Yeah. Somebody was watching over you.
Something was guiding me.
Yes.
If you believe in that. I don't know, but I just started digging, and I dug down about 3 feet, and I found his hand, which was stretched up like that.
Wow.
And then I kept digging. Obviously, I didn't stop at his hand.
Yeah.
I kept digging, and I got down to his head, and he was still breathing. He was conscious. He was conscious, and it was probably, I don't know, 8 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes.
And then you told me you started throwing up violently.
I did. I did. I told him. I said I cleared his face. I made it so he could breathe. I said I got you, but you're gonna have to wait a second.
I gotta throw up.
And he panicked, and he was freaking out.
Yeah,
'cause
of course he was.
Locked in the snow, and he couldn't move. And he was like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" And I'm like, I was like, dude, I am so exhausted, and I just turned and like threw up in the snow. And then I sat there for a minute, and he's yelling at me from inside the hole.
Wow.
And I finally came back, and I started digging again. And then these guys came up on sleds. Okay. So, yeah, these guys came up on sleds, and they're like, hey, do you need a hand? Because they just saw
What
my
happened?
sled.
Okay.
And they're like, do you need a hand? And I'm like, yeah, I would definitely need help.
Yeah.
And they're like slowly taking off their stuff. And I'm like, no, there's a guy buried under here. I need help now. And they're like, oh, shit. So then
So you had some help digging the rest of him out.
I had some help digging the rest of him out. And
But he was okay. He was breathing. His head was
breathing.
just above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His head was down, actually. His head was below.
Okay.
So he was probably, his arm was stretched out. So he was 6 feet under the snow. Wow. It's not a big hill, and it did not seem like that much snow could accumulate. And his recollection from it was like he just thought the sled had rolled over him, was just on top of him.
Oh, he had no idea. Okay, so he didn't
no
think
idea.
that it was an avalanche. He just thought it was the sled.
Yeah, he just thought the sled
He's
rolled
like, I'm
over on
just
top
waiting
of
for
him.
the buddies to come get this thing off me.
Right.
Wow. That is very scary. And so moving forward, that's something you don't ever want it to happen again. Like that's what we don't even wish on our worst enemy. That's the most worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is it could have been bigger and he could have been buried so deep that he died. And
I just think if I would have been digging 2 feet to the left,
exactly
2 feet to the right.
I know.
Another scary part is there was actually 2 avalanches, because when he got buried and then I ran to him and started digging, when we were done and finished digging him out, I looked back at my sled and it was half under the snow. Wow. Because it had come again.
So you had triggered another.
Yeah.
The base was just so unstable that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like half buried my sled. And I was like, oh, it was like right behind me.
Wow.
I was like, Jesus.
Could you imagine it buried you while
Right.
you were trying to undig him out?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward from an experience like that, and thank you for talking about it, because I know that's a hard thing to, it's hard for people to talk about these experiences that, a lot of adrenaline.
I had nightmares for a while.
Exactly, I know. So I really, want viewers to hear this and listen, and what can you share with people moving forward, and how do you move differently in this sport that we all love so much, to mitigate those risks?
I have always been a person that is calm in crisis. Mm-hmm. I've always thought of myself that way.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I totally lost all reason. Like, I don't know. I should have grabbed a shovel. It would have made it so much easier.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I don't know why I dug in that spot. I should have grabbed my probe. I should have, there's lots of things I should have done. And from that moment on, I swore that I would never leave the parking lot without all my gear.
Your avalanche gear.
My avalanche gear.
Yeah. So a miracle that you and your friend made it out that with absolutely no gear on you guys.
Yeah.
And moving forward, get the gear, and also know how to use it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many people don't know how to use a... One of the most difficult things that I've learned, too, about snowmobiling is knowing what a probe strike feels like. Because when you probe something, you don't know if you're probing a rock or a log or, dirt. Like, probing a human and what does that feel like is also misleading. So, I mean, it's a scenario that I don't think anybody... You can prepare for. But just knowing how to use your gear, so when the time happens, it feels like second nature because you practice it.
Yeah,
so
we
much.
used to have to run the grids. You used to have to run a grid with a beacon.
Yeah.
The newer ones, you can almost point and run.
Mm-hmm.
So,
knowing how to use your beacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important.
Definitely.
It's important.
Totally.
But in that situation, it would have made it easier for me to find him, but like his Avi bag wouldn't have helped him because he didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
So he didn't have time to pull it. He didn't know anything. So that wouldn't have helped. But it would have made it so I could have found him. I found him anyway, but that was just pure luck.
Yeah. Okay, so coming from Matt over here, carry your avalanche gear when you're going out, even on days when reports are calling low to moderate.
Yeah, this was not something that we'd ever seen slide in 20 years and didn't think about it.
Yeah, amazing. So, viewers, we're not saying don't get bucked. We're saying definitely stay bucked out there.
Yes.
Stay bucked, have fun, but let's buck around safely.
For sure.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, now let's go rip.
That's your full throttle session. If your life's not a little bucked, are you even doing it right? Catch you next episode, same stoke, new shenanigans. Until then, stay bucked, y'all.